someone can share with others. Everyone Saranai, what does it mean?
Triple gem. The triple gem right there, that's it.
Yeah, the triple gem. Bless you. What are the triple gems? Do you know what are triple gems? Table 1 means 3 jewels, 3 gems. Saranai, bless you. What are the triple gems? Yeah, number 1. What is Teruvan or what is triple gem?
Yeah.
You can see right in front of your eyes. Yes. Yeah, the number 1 is the Buddha, our Supreme Buddha. Our Buddha Sadhu is the first gem. Second gem?
The fourth one.
Yes, his teachings, his whole body of teachings. Dhamma. Dhamma, his teachings is the second jewel. And third?
Sangha.
Sangha. Sangha means the community of disciples of the Buddha. So, Teruvan means Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Can you see it? First one is Buddha, and then Dhamma, last one Sangha. Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Can you all say that? Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Our Supreme Buddha is our supreme teacher, and Dhamma is his supreme teachings. Sangha is his disciples, and those are the triple gem for Buddhists. So when we say Teruvan Saranai, that means may the triple gem bless you. Okay, so now you understand. Okay, so I'm so glad to see you all again. I remember many of you join our Sunday meditation through Zoom, and really nice to see you all. But I would like to go to everyone and get their names. I know mostly of your names, but maybe in order to get everyone's know each other, I would like to hear your name. Okay, so I am Bante Pemaratan. Bante, you? Bante Vijayana. Can we start from here? Yes?
Oh, Natari.
Natari, okay.
Anand.
Onali, yes. Then Ryan, yes. Sesa. Sesita, okay, Sesita. Rachel, yes. Yes, Onara, yes. Mehan. Which one? Bante. You are not Bante. If you can, we can make you a Bante. Yeah, would you like to be a Bante during school vacation? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you are Mehan, right? So you are Mehan or what? Johan.
Yeah.
Johan or Jehan?
Johan.
By O. Oh, Jehan. Okay. Mehan and Jehan. That's great. How about you? Yes. What's your good name? Vinuki. Vinuki. Oh, Mandri, right? What's your name? Mandri. Yes. How about you? Mandri. Yes. Your name? Start with M? No. Then start with which letter? It start with which letter? N? Huh? Asen. A. Oh, you start with A. Can you spell your name? A? Asen. Okay, Asen. Okay, now we all know your name. Nuvi. Oh, that's a nice name. Yeah. Thank you. So we will have few sessions today. First, we are going to learn something very important, but maybe small ones. It will be a little bit too advanced. But let's try to try to address both groups. So we are going to have an important lesson on self-control, and then after that we have some group work. We we have some papers I have prepared. You have to fill the forms. And then we will have some activity with our parents. Then we are going to have a meditation practice. And then part of the meditation practice will be joining the Zoom meditation of Pittsburgh Buddhist Center that we have been joining. So we will, the latter part, we will join the meditation there. But before that, we will do our own short meditation also. Okay, so Bhante Vijayananda. So today is Sunday, that is June 8. And June 9 and June 10 is the full moon day. Have you seen full moon? Have you seen the full moon? Yes. So the June 10th is the full moon day. And the June full moon day is a very important day. Bhante, why it is important, the June full moon? What we call that full moon? We have name for that full moon, right? What we call? Poson. The June full moon day is called Poson full moon day. I'm sure that you know what we call May full moon day. What do you call the May full moon day? Yes? Yes? I heard something. What do you call the Vesak full moon day? Sorry, I just said that. What do you call the May full moon day? Vesak. And June full moon day we call it Poson. And why it is important Monday? Yeah, it's important, right? It's very important. Very important. Why Vesak full moon day is important? You made the Vesak lanterns and everything, right? Why is it important? Yes. Mihan, you know that? Exactly. His birthday. And not only his birthday, two other important things also happen. Yes, Rachel? And then, monthly? When he passed away. Yeah. When we call Parinirvana. So three main importance. Yeah. So that's called Vesak. Poson is important, Bhante, right? Because it is on the Poson full moon day that Sri Lanka received Buddhism. And Venerable Arahant Mahinda, Venerable Arahant Mahinda, traveled to Sri Lanka with a group of other monks, bringing the message of Buddhism many years ago. More than 2,225 years ago, actually 2,300 years ago. Venerable Arahant Mahinda traveled to Sri Lanka and then met the king of Sri Lanka on the full moon day of June, Poson full moon day, and that is how Buddhism came to know about, Sri Lanka came to know about Buddhism. And then after that, Venerable Arahant Mahinda also brought all the teachings of the Buddha. We call it Tripitaka, his Dhamma, all the teachings. And Tripitaka was protected and preserved in Sri Lanka. And it was written down in the palm leaves. Have you seen the palm leaves writing? Not like a book, but in a long book, palm leaves writing. And it was written down in Sri Lanka. And because Venerable Arahant Mahinda came to Sri Lanka with the Tripitaka, and this Tripitaka was preserved in Sri Lanka. And after many thousand, 100,000 years, India lost Buddhism. And ultimately, all the world came to know about the teachings of the Buddha from Sri Lanka. And today we learn about the Tripitaka, which is the recordings of the teachings of the Buddha. And now it has been translated many languages, Burmese, Chinese, and English, French, and all languages. But its original Tripitaka is from Sri Lanka. So therefore, it's very important day. Right? So during full moon day in Sri Lanka, there will be a lot of celebration on that. So with that, therefore is so important. We remember this important day that the Poson full moon day is a very important day in the history of Buddhism, because Sri Lanka is the country which has the longest, the country which has the same religious tradition stayed for more than 2,000 years. from the time Venerable Arahant reached Sri Lanka, that is 2,300 years ago, and until now it is the same religious tradition. In many other countries will have changed their prominent religious tradition in different times, but Sri Lanka remains the longest surviving religious tradition, that is Buddhism. Okay, so with that we will now go to the other important lesson, but so maybe we will so I'm sorry, I'm trying to teach these big akkas and ayas. Okay, so we have to teach them a very important lesson, because we want to teach them how to control themselves. Can you control yourself? Can you control yourself? What do you think? Let's say you have a candy jar in the middle on the table, and your parents ask you not to eat too much. Can you stay without eating, going and open that candy jar? If you can, that means you can self-control. Let's say your parents told you that you have limited time that you can watch cartoon, or you have limited time that you can play games, and you cannot play games when you study, or you cannot play cartoon when you have to do your homework. Okay. But then they let you be in the room and they go somewhere. Will you watch cartoon or do the homework? Which you will do when they are not around you? I don't know, you can check whether you can control yourself or not. If you can control yourself, that means you can divide how much you want to play, how much you want to study. If you do not know how to control, you will spend all day playing. No control. At the end, you haven't done your homework, you haven't learned anything, and all others are studying and doing well, you don't know anything. And that is what happens to people who do not know how to control themselves. So I'm going to teach them how to control themselves. Is that okay? Okay, you listen. Okay? Because this lesson is for big ones. But you can see. Can you see the screen? So I'm going to share with you, particularly bigger kids. Please pay attention. This is really important, and I especially prepared this lesson for you. And Buddhist guidelines for self-control, with a lot of the resources, and then that tree can become strong. At the same time, that tree can give so many things to the environment. If a tree is strong and really big, what it can give to the society? A tree. What tree gives us? What trees gives us? Anything? Do you know what trees gives us?
Air. Oxygen.
Yeah.
Shade.
Yes. Yeah.
Shade.
Shade. Yeah. It gives shade. It gives air, oxygen, and anything else? Yes. Huh? Can you say loud?
She said fruits.
I didn't hear that. What?
She said fruits.
Oh, fruits. Yes, the most important thing. Yeah, fruits. And Mantri, what did you say? Protection. Yeah, shade and protection. Anyone has plucked in flowers from the trees? Right? Flowers. But anyway, so as people, if we become strong and and if we take care of ourselves in our childhood, yeah. Anything else?
Paper.
Paper. Yeah, yes. Yeah. We have to cut the tree to get the paper. But anyway, if you take care of yourself well, manage your time, and if you manage to become a really strong, skillful, clever person, what you can give to your society? What you can give back to society? Kindness, yes. Anything else? If you really study well, become a really strong and capable and skillful, clever person, what you can give back to society? Kindness is one. Anything else?
Your skills.
Yes. And many things that we see here, including this projector, this computer, all these things were given by people. People who are clever, people who have studied well. They can invent new things, right? Would you like to invent a new product? Something really cool and new? Would you like to invent for the whole society? No? What do you like to give? Or any medicine or any cure for medicine, for a disease?
Oh, no.
Anything else you'd like to contribute back to society? You can do that, but only if you take care of yourself at this age. That is why it's so important to learn how to control yourself. So therefore, let me share with you. There are important teachings of the Buddha. I have written down that to you. I will give that to you later. There's a book called Dhammapada. Dhammapada. That's the most important Buddhist text. All the teachings of the Buddha, the key teachings of the Buddha, are recorded in the book called Dhammapada. Can you all say that? Dhammapada. Have you seen the Dhammapada?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Bhante, do you have
Actually,
Dhammapada? Dhammapada? You have seen Dhammapada?
I've heard it.
Heard of it, yeah. I think that may be something that you can ask for your Christmas gift or your birthday gift.
Where is the Bible? Like the actual one, the original?
Actual one?
The original.
Oh, original was in Sri Lanka.
Oh.
You mean the palm leaves one, right? The original?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Sri Lanka. But it has been, translated and copied and printed many times. So it's called Dhammapada. So I'm going to show you some of the verses. Dhammapada is a collection of poems, verses uttered by the Buddha. And so I'm going to show you a few verses. Can you read that? Can you read together? Can you see it? Can you read together? Yes.
It is our own undisciplined mind, not any enemy or foe, that causes us the greatest harm.
Wow, what do you think about that? This is what the Buddha said. We are afraid of enemies, right? We are afraid of people who are angry with us, because they will cause harm to us. But Buddha said that our undisciplined mind make more harm to us than of our enemy. It's a very important teaching. And this is the book of Dhammapada. And you see that? But this is a big version because this has the stories and the verses. There's also a shorter version which is like a pocket book. You only have the verses. But this is the verses and explanation and the stories. And this may be something you can ask for your next birthday gift. Okay? You can ask from your parents. I want a Dhammapada. Because that has all the wisdom of the Buddha. So if you open it, you can read a lot of teachings of the Buddha. Okay, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. Okay, next one. How about this? Can you read that? Or what happened? Okay. Can you read that? Yes.
Our own well-disciplined mind can bear us greater good than even our parents or any other relatives.
Wow. You see these verses, one is saying that the greatest harm can caused by, not by our enemy, but our own undisciplined mind. But the greatest good that can happen to us, of course our parents and our other good relatives and teachers will really do a great benefit to us. But our own disciplined mind can do even greater benefit than our own parents. Imagine how important is the disciplined mind. Okay. How about next one? Can you read this?
Though one may conquer 1,000 times 1,000 men in battle, yet he indeed is the noblest victor who conquers himself.
Wow. The greatest victory is not winning thousands of people, but winning oneself. Developing mastery, self-mastery of oneself. Okay, the next one.
Self-conquest is far better than the conquest of
if someone develop this self-mastery, self-control, ability to control oneself, and he cannot be defeated by even by a divine being. That's what said, right? So not even a god or angel or Brahma or Mara can turn defeat into defeat, the victory of a person. So again and again, so we can see how many times Buddha has emphasized the importance of self-control. So from there, let us try to understand what we mean by the self-control. And again, there's also another one. Can you all read this one too?
The eye is good. Good is restraint with the ear. Restraint with the nose is good. Good is restraint with the tongue.
Oh, this is how we can control, right? With our ear, with our tongue. So what you mean by, can you share with us, how you understand restraint with the ear? Yes? Yes, Onara, yes.
Controlling what you listen to, maybe like music that's not good for your mental state, you don't listen to.
That's exactly, yeah, thank you, that's a good example, yes. And how about, restraint with eye? How you understand that? Yes, Ona.
If you're watching too much cartoons and all that, it's not good for you. So
Yes.
it's restrained your eyes.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad that you understand what does it mean. I don't have to talk about restraint with the tongue, right? No, let's not talk about that. That's okay. And the next one, can you say that? Can you? Oh, very good. So the first one is restraining our sensory organs and not to indulge too much and discipline and be moderate. And the other one is restraining with our body, because we interact with others with our body, with our speech, and also with our heart. So restraining the overall behavior. So these are the teachings of the Buddha, and then there's one last one. A person everywhere restrained is released from all suffering and stress. So the self-control brings us freedom from suffering. So, okay, with that, let's talk about this. Would you like to be a victor or a victim? Do you understand the difference between the victim and the victor? So, would you like to be a victim or a victor? So, this is what usually happens. We are always affected by things around us and by the feelings inside us. So, there are two things that will influence us, affect us. One is what is around us. If we are around TV, or if you are around, some other friends, if you are around, particular environment, important, if you're in the temple, that environment influence you. Some environments influence you in a good way, some environments influence you in bad way. That is one thing that will influence you. The second thing that will influence you is your own inside feelings. Your own inside feelings, your tendencies, your habitual patterns. So we are always influenced by these two things: external environment and inside tendencies, habits, patterns. So very often we become victim to our environment and our feelings. So most of the time, we simply follow what the environment demands us to follow, or we will simply follow what our mind is telling us to do. Those mind, most of the time, it's not simply the mind, but this is actually habitual patterns, our sometimes bad habits, and these are telling us to do. So we are pulled by our environment, and we are pushed by our feelings. This is what is happening to human beings, right? Don't you think so? We are conditioned by what is around us, and also we are being influenced by our inside feelings, and people simply follow those things. What do you think? When people get this influence from environment and inside, most of the time our people become victims to those things, or they can overcome them. What is usually happen to people based on your understanding of the common society? Did you say something? Yes? people become victims.
That's what he said.
Hmm?
That's what he said.
So
He said victims.
victims, yeah. Thank you, Mihan. Yeah. So most of the time, if you see the society, they become victims to their environment. They become victims to their own inside feelings. Can be desire, anger, or other bad habits. So, but Buddha really wanted us to become a victor, not the victim. But we also have the power to go beyond them. That is what Buddha really wanted us to develop. Definitely our environment influences us, our feelings influence us, but we don't have to be victims all the time, but we can go beyond them. So these are the techniques that Buddha taught us to go beyond our environment and go beyond our inner feelings. Buddha has given techniques, tools, so important. Please remember them. Number 1, techniques to develop self-control. Number 1 is called, this is familiar to you, right? In our meditation class, we always discuss this, mindfulness. Mindfulness. In Pali, we call it sati. Sati. Yes, one sati, mindfulness. Or that other means self-awareness. Have you practiced mindfulness before? Yes, we have practiced mindfulness. That means become aware of our body, being aware of our sensations, being aware of our own mind. So we turn attention inward. Usually we are paying attention to outside environment, but we can also pay attention inward. If I ask you right now, for example, can we practice mindfulness for 10 seconds? Like this? So okay, this is how you are going to practice. I'm going to ask a question. Let's see whether you change your attention. I ask you, okay, how do you feel in your body right now? What did you do when I asked that? Or I can ask, okay, how your legs are touching the ground. Exactly which parts of your legs are touching the ground right now, without making any changes. Right now, which parts of your legs are touching the ground? Did you feel that? What did you do? You turn attention inward and you feel your body. That is a mindfulness of body. I can ask the question, when you are listening to me, when you are looking at me, exactly what you are thinking. Can you tell me exactly what you are thinking now? What did you do when I asked that question? Yes?
Try to watch what I was thinking.
Yes. Yes, Onara. So what we did, we turned the attention inward. You are looking at me, but you are not really seeing me. You turn the attention inward. Maybe you turn your eyes up and you turn attention inward and you check, okay, what I'm thinking. That means we become aware of our mind. We can become aware of our body. We can become aware of our mind. We can also become aware of our sensations. So that is called mindfulness. That is the important technique that we can develop in order to enhance our ability to control ourselves. So, be aware of the influence coming from environment. Be aware of the feelings, habits, desires, and urges. And then remembering what is truly good for us and making a choice with awareness. Normally, people simply follow the environment, follow the feelings, do not make a second evaluation whether these things are good or bad. Mindfulness is important technique. You become aware of the influence. Let's say you go to a group of your friends. They are all doing fun things, okay, and that influences you, okay, and then that you also become motivated to do same kind of funny thing, right? It will be okay, cool, and we can do that. But before you simply do out of the influence, you observe your own mind. And you understand this, I have this feeling, I have been motivated by these people around me. Is it okay thing to do? Is it okay or is it not okay? You make an evaluation within yourself and you make a choice. Sometimes, yes, do the same kind of fun things. Or sometimes you think that, oh, another time now, maybe you have an important test to do something, and then you realize that, okay, although I'm influenced by them, I'm not going to follow it. I can have fun with them later. Let me now focus on my test. So you become aware of the influence coming from outside. And it's we cannot control that, we cannot stop that. That will going to come. But you become aware, come to know about it, and then make a choice. You make a choice. That is so, and then also remembering the main goal. Remembering the important goal in your life. We all have to have a goal in our life. Right? We have to have a goal. We can have short-term goals, we can have a long-term goal. Now, right now I have a short-term goal. When I am here, my short-term goal is to finish my lesson. I can have a long-term goal also. And if I have a short-term goal, if something happening here, I hear some music, playing in the neighbor, and if I forget that I'm teaching here, I start to listen to that lesson, that means I have forgotten the main goal. And I'm influenced by the sound coming from outside. But I can become aware of it. As soon as I heard some music, I can become aware of it. Oh, it's nice music, but what is my goal right now? And I decide whether that listen to that music is aligned with my goal or not. Then I can make a decision whether to follow the song or whether to continue my teaching. Okay, we have to make that decision most of the time in our life. And important thing is to become aware of the influence, because those influences happen to us in a very unconscious way. We are not even aware that we have been influenced by others. We have been influenced by the environment. Sometimes we are not even aware of it. We simply follow. That's why it's so important to develop this understanding, awareness, self-awareness, mindfulness. We feel, how I've been influenced. And it's very important too. And number 2, evaluating thoughts. That means we don't have to believe or follow every thought coming to our mind. In one day, how many thoughts that will come to your mind? How many? 100? How many thoughts come to your mind in one day? 100? I think more than that, right? More than that, right? So many thoughts come to our mind. Those thoughts can be many kinds of things. But do you have to follow every thought that comes to our mind? Or do you have to believe every thought that comes to our mind? We try to do it. But what Buddha has said us, we can evaluate thoughts. We can check, evaluate. We can evaluate whether the thoughts that are occurring in our mind, are they valid or are they useful? Sometimes we can have some thoughts that are not valid. That means whenever we see a person, sometimes we can have a thought, oh, this should be, maybe he is not friendly with me. But we can double check. Is it a valid thought? Maybe valid, maybe not. We have to anyway double check it. So evaluating our thoughts. So for example, when your friend, for example, did not return your call or did not text back to you, have you had that some experience? Your friend is not communicating with you, suddenly is talking to you. And you may think that he or she is angry with you. That may be our initial thought. But do you have to believe it? No, you can double check it. Maybe he's angry, but who knows? Maybe he's busy. When you get a bad grade, for example, you may think that I'm not good in this subject. That will be your initial thought. Do you have to believe it? You can double check. You can don't necessarily believe the initial thought. You can double check. Maybe it's not that I'm not good in that subject. It just happened that during the test I didn't prepare well, but I'm good in this subject. But you have to double check it. So don't follow your thoughts just because they occur in your mind. Always double check. Always try to find more reasons, more evidence whether this thought that I'm having is valid or not. That's the second technique. Evaluating thoughts. So we should not quickly believe these thoughts. We can question ourselves and evaluate whether these thoughts are correct or not. Okay, that's on number 3. Focusing on one's goals and determinations. That means always remind yourself you have an important goal. Keeping the goals in our mind, no matter how strong are the distractions from the environment, never move away from our goals. For example, you can get an invitation from your friends for various things. Your friends will ask you to go somewhere or do something, whatever. And then, but we have to always evaluate whether it is in line with my goal. Or you often feel like, copying how others choose to have fun. When you see other people are having fun, you may feel like I also want to do it, right? And that's usual feeling. But we have to always focus, what is my main goal? Is it supporting my goal or not? So again, remembering the initial goal. So in such instances, we should remind ourselves our main goals. We should select the things that will support our goals, not something that will, distract us from those goals. So I have given you 3 techniques. Number 1 is mindfulness, which is the second one, evaluating thoughts. Do not believing in thoughts right away, quickly, but double check. Third is remembering our main goals. Have a strong determination. What I want to do, what I want to be, and don't lose the sight of your main goal just because invitation you receive from your friends or anything that's occurring in your mind. Always have that main goal. Don't never lose that. It's just like when a ship is moving through the sea, it has a destination, but there will be a lot of winds coming, but the ship will always try to turn towards the main destination because it has a goal. So in the same way, we should have a goal in our life, educational goal, family goal, our personal goal, and then many things will happen to us, but we should always have that goal. And sometimes we can go to the goal straight way, sometimes we have to make a little bit longer tour, but that's okay as long as we go to the destination and go. Okay, so this number 3 techniques. The last technique is called daily reminder of one's potential to grow. Always remind yourself that you can do better. You can overcome the influence of the environment. You can overcome your own desires. You don't have to always follow your desires. You have the power to do that. That is what Buddha has taught us. Buddha has taught that every human being has this capacity. So always you should remind ourselves that I have this capacity. So we have to do it daily in order to, develop this self-control. How you can do it daily? Every day we should remind ourselves with this potential. Do you have Buddha statue at your home? Everyone has Buddha statue at home. Those do not have, can you raise your hands? If you don't have one, have or have not? Do you have? I say if you don't have, you can raise your hands. Good. Everyone has a Buddha statue, right? You have a nice Buddha statue. Very good. So that Buddha statue at the home, we should use it. That's the symbol of the Bodhisattva. So whenever we do our chanting, whenever we light the lamps, when we offer flowers, whenever we offer water, and even by ourselves, we can go in front of that statue and remind ourselves that I can be better. I have power to overcome all my weaknesses. I can overcome the influence from the environment. So remind that. I can always do better. And Buddha became the Buddha. As a normal person, he rise above all the weaknesses. So Buddha taught us everyone has the capacity. So remind yourself of that capacity. And always believe that. So those are the 4 techniques. Can you review what is the first one? What is the first technique? Mindfulness. Thank you. Who said that? Thank you. Very good. Number 2, evaluating thoughts, double checking our own thoughts. evaluating thoughts. Number 3,
Stay towards your goals.
very good, thank you. Always focus your goal, determination, never lose the sight of the goal. And number 4 is daily reminder in front of the Buddha statue. Okay, so if you do it, definitely you will develop self-control. So when you do chant at home, you can do it. And I think this is what I want to teach you, but I would like to teach you something about the brain, because this is actually developing our brain. As children, you are still growing your brain. Your brain is not fully formed, fully developed, it's still growing. There are 3 important parts of the brain, and so what we are doing in our developing self-control is actually improving very important part of the brain. We have, if you say 3 parts, you see the amygdala, so that's what we call emotional center. That always, that is impulses, urges that we have. That will always ask you to go and eat that ice cream. Go and watch, do the, see the cartoon. That will always push us to do things. Okay, but the front part of the brain, what we call cerebral cortex, this is like this. It's a funny way to do this. The front part is more like a sheriff. Always evaluate whether this the amygdala is useful or not. The front part, especially the children, when the front part is not developed, they don't know how to choose which one to do, which one not to do. And for some adults, they have also not developed that enough. But particularly for children, we really have to utilize this front part to decide which one is useful, which one is not useful. Because just because our feelings are arising doesn't mean that we should do everything. So we have to make a decision. The front part of the brain is controlling that, prefrontal cortex. And then once you make a choice, the hippocampus, like a hippo, he will keep a record. Hippocampus is the part of the brain that records the memories. If you make a good choice, it will remember next time. If you make a bad choice, it's also remember that. It's like AI. It has all the memories. So he records our memories, our emotional experiences. Particularly, he remembers our emotional reactions. And the next time when the new experience comes, it will give us the record. That is how our brain works. So therefore, when we practice mindfulness, which part of the brain we are developing? Emotional part, memory part, or the prefrontal cortex? Exactly. That's the part we are developing in mindfulness. Now, scientists have studied, have found that actually people who practice meditation, people who practice mindfulness, have more activity in the prefrontal cortex. Even in some cases, they can have more growth in the brain, in that part of the brain. So they have more control, more execution, and more executive power. They don't simply follow our animal urges, because amygdala is always like animal nature, always pushing us to do, urging and giving us urges to do. Therefore, it's really important to develop prefrontal cortex. So developing self-control really means, we are developing our prefrontal cortex, and particularly as children, your brain is still developing. If you start practicing meditation and mindfulness at this age, when you grow up, your prefrontal cortex will be really strong, really powerful, and you will not be simply become victims to your own, feelings or victims to the environment. You become really people with self-mastery and self-control. Okay, so that is the benefit of doing meditation and doing this Dhamma practice. So I will stop it right here. Do you like to ask any questions from that? Okay, so there are 4 things we have to do in order to develop our self-control. One is mindfulness. Second one is, evaluating our thoughts. Double checking our thoughts or feelings all the time. Number 3, Yes, have a goal setting, remember your goal. Last one is yes, daily reminder of one's own ability to grow. And we always can be more than this. We all have the potential to grow. So remember that. So when you follow this, I'm pretty sure that you will all become such a great people who can control yourself, and you can do really good service in society and be really nice, kind, clever people. And that is really what it means to be a Buddhist. Be a kind and a smart person who will not unnecessarily give suffering to others and unnecessarily create suffering in oneself. That is what it means to be a Buddhist. Be a kind and smart person. That is what Buddha encouraged us to be. Okay? Any questions? Like to know anything more? Okay. So with that, I will stop this part, and then we can move to the other activity.